How do you feel about the soft commodity space, specifically sugar?
Evening, Bronwyn. Soft commodities, I mean, the Illovo numbers weren't bad, but if we look at them against the Tongaat, I think Tongaat was ahead, although Moorland makes issues there. The problem with soft commodities is quite simple. Sugar price has been doing excellently well for the last 2 years, so everyone around the world is planting more and more sugar. That brings supply on, and so prices are very, very cyclical. And I think that Illovo perhaps a bit behind the curve in that they're doing a lot of ramp up in terms of production, getting more tonnages out there, and I think they're doing it at the top end of the price cycle, and that's probably not going to be so great going forward.
So you're not overly positive on this stock at 29.70 Rand?
Short answer, no. If I was looking for a sugar stock, I prefer Tongaat. As I said, the problem with Tongaat is they've got the property arm, which is it's a good and a bad thing. If you want pure sugar, unfortunately, it's Illovo. But I think Tongaat's in a better space in terms of the price cycle.
Katie's out with full year results today. Headline earnings per share up 37%. That's to 45.6 cents. And the stock today closing at R3.40, up 3%. Again, this is an investment stock that largely is buffered by what is happening in the underlying market.
Exactly, and I mean, in that sense, I mean, what they've got to really do is when the market is good, they've got to do brilliantly well and absolutely reap what they can. And when the market is really, really tough, they've got to absolutely batten down the hatches. They haven't really got a heck lot of control over what the market is doing. I thought the results were okay to good. They certainly didn't blow the lights out in my mind, but they have come out of what has been very, very tough times. The market certainly rallied nicely last year, but we haven't seen that massive flow of volumes back into the market and investors, private clients getting back in, and that's really what they're looking for to a large degree.
News flow out of Transex today, that company at R4 flat on the day. Can you give us an update on the diamond business?
Well, in diamond, with De Beers really was our diamond business when they left the board almost a decade ago, left us with a number of very, very small stocks. Transex really turning around, looking a lot better, but not moving strongly into profit by any stretch of imagination. But when you look at other numbers, Rockwell came out just a few minutes ago. If we compare it to other diamond folks out there, Transex probably top of the pile in that space.
Let's look at the broader market now. Obviously today, low volumes given those liquidity hubs being the UK and the US closed for holidays. What do you anticipate happening tomorrow when we've got those markets coming back on stream, given the fact that we had that negative news flow out of the Eurozone on Friday, with Fitch downgrading Spain's debt to AA+. Jeff Gable, however, pointing out earlier that AA+ is still a very positive credit rating.
Bronwyn, I'm just hoping for some activity. Today was so deadly quiet, it was tough to stay awake. I think that the Spain news, I mean, certainly the Spanish stock exchange today was slightly up. I think 1/3% or maybe 1/4%. So not particularly strong there. But as you commented, AA+ is still investment grade. I think the sense with the rating agencies is that really they're coming in and downgrading or upgrading, but at the moment, obviously, it's downgrading. They're really coming in long after the market has voted. And I think the market had pretty much priced that in. So looking for other news. My sense is we're probably at a level where we can see some upside. I think the worry, the focus at the moment seems to be really on BP and the worries broadening from that in the Gulf of Mexico.
What impact will BP have on the broader market, given the fact that we're seeing this as an ongoing saga now?
It's an ongoing saga, absolutely, and it's under, 34, 35 days old, but it's now getting pushed further and further out. I'm hearing talk today that it might be August at best case. And I think if we take it as a country that's been a bit fragile in terms of what's happened over the last couple of years, the inability to really stem what is a huge environmental disaster might flow into some worries around just the vulnerability in a sense. Directly in terms of prices and the like, I don't see anything there, but just that sense of vulnerability that could start stemming in. America's always been a country which has said, problem, we solve it. Here's a big problem that isn't being solved easily.
Given the volatility that we've seen on the local market over the last couple of weeks, do you think we're starting to reach an equilibrium now? Is the worst out of the market? Are we coming to some sense of stability where equities are concerned, in your opinion?
Absolutely, I think we are. I mean, I think the local market, they all share around 27,000, Dow Jones around 10,000 and the like. There seems to be that level of equilibrium we've hit there. We've come back and our local market almost 10% down. The US market's about 7 or 8%. And there seems to be some happiness there. And the news flow really has gone through. I mean, the EU and the pig nations and downgradings here and there and worries about default, that all seems to be priced into the market. It didn't create a collapse in any sense. Certainly it pulled us back, but there wasn't any massive collapses anywhere. And I think we're saying for what we know right now, the market is comfortable. What's out there coming forward?
If you are comfortable right now, are there any screaming buys in the local market? What about the likes of a Sasol at 279 Rand, MTN at 107 Rand? Would these be close to your top picks at the moment?
Yes, screaming buyers, no buyers. Some stocks to certainly be picking up. Sasol's at around that 270. The MTN's around the 105, 108 level. Definitely worth buying. Are they going to get cheaper? Maybe. And they certainly, if we take them on a 5-year backward price, they've been a lot cheaper. Obviously, looking in early 2009. But I think they're at a much more comfortable level. Sasol at 310, 320 looks a little pricey, even with oil higher. I think there's stocks we can start looking at. Nothing you want to mortgage the house to buy, but certainly if you've got cash on the sidelines, worth putting some into the market.